Every year, the UK food sector loses £3.2 billion to a combination of food waste and operational inefficiency. For operators managing 2 to 5 locations, this macro problem becomes a micro reality, typically costing them between 4 and 10% of their total inventory value every year. This loss is driven by silent margin erosion, a pattern of systemic failures where inconsistent data entry and delayed visibility across multiple kitchens slowly drain the bottom line. For a scaling restaurant group, reclaiming that 10% often represents the capital needed to fund their next location or double their overall net profit. The primary driver of this erosion is a reliance on manual spreadsheets to track data across expanding sites. When different chefs at different locations enter data into separate systems at different times, the resulting picture of the business is fragmented and prone to error. To understand how a digital spreadsheet leads to a 10% loss in physical value, we have to trace the specific points where the data and the kitchen fall out of sync. The first leak is the supplier squeeze. Ingredient costs fluctuate constantly, with prices moving up or down between weekly deliveries. If a restaurant relies on manual end-of-month accounting, a price increase on the first of the month stays invisible for weeks. This forces the kitchen to serve underpriced dishes until the books are finally balanced. Jelly addresses this by digitizing the process at the delivery bay. Chefs simply photograph the invoice or forward it via email, and the software extracts every line item. This automation powers real-time price alerts. If a supplier raises a cost, the system flags the movement the moment the invoice is scanned. Immediate visibility allows operators to renegotiate with suppliers or update menu pricing before the margin loss compounds over the following weeks. The second leak involves variance, the gap between the stock a kitchen should have used based on sales and what they actually have on the shelves. Manually exporting POS data to calculate this gap is time-consuming and introduces significant administrative lag, making it difficult to spot shrinkage or portioning issues. Jelly syncs with Square, EPOS Now, Lightspeed, and Toast in 5 minutes. This merges real-time sales with costs, generating a live gross profit margin. If ingredient prices change, dish profitability updates automatically. Real-time API integration provides a live diagnostic tool for the kitchen, showing the exact financial impact of every portion served. The third leak is the human cost. Managers and chefs in multi-site groups often spend 10 to 20 hours every week performing manual data entry. When a chef is occupied with a spreadsheet, they have less time to focus on kitchen management, portion control, and reducing waste. Jelly streamlines the process by reducing the time required for a full inventory stock take from 3 hours down to as little as 5 to 20 minutes. Automating the administrative work reclaims up to 15 hours a week for a 3-site group, allowing the team to focus on the operational standards that protect margins. Plugging these leaks creates a measurable financial shift for multi-site operators. Amber in East London saved between £3,000 and £4,000 per month by using these alerts to react faster to supplier price movements. At Sushi Revolution, live data allowed management to set distinct targets for dine-in and delivery menus, resulting in a 3% increase in gross profits. When that missing 10% of inventory value is recovered, operators gain the financial stability required to scale their business with confidence. Most enterprise platforms are built for 20-site chains with dedicated finance departments. For a 2 to 5 site operator, those tools often introduce more complexity and administrative overhead than the problems they solve. Modern stock control for mid-sized groups requires fast implementation, live margin visibility, and a simple pricing model without per-user fees. The 10% inventory loss is a preventable cost. If you are ready to replace spreadsheets with automated control, book a demo with Jelly to see the results in your first week.